program, among many other guest speakers that we have every year. So I'll just very briefly tell you a little bit more about our program, just so you have an idea of what it entails. It's a master's program. It's a degree that lasts 8 months. It's online, flexible, with live lectures, similar to tonight, but with multiple experts from the football industry. It has a duration of 8 months, and obviously the language is in English. We start on October 14th, and there you see the fee. But what I want to do is talk to you a little bit more about what the master entails. And, we heard Juan de Dios talk about how important it is to gain insider knowledge. So that's one of the key areas of the master's program, to have experts deliver their insights, obviously in a much more in-depth manner than what we saw tonight. But the experts come and they talk about their areas of expertise. Obviously, we have a wide network. We have opportunities for you to connect with the speakers, the lecturers, and the students, many who already come from the football industry. We also have personalized mentorship with all the students to try and find out where you're at today in your career and where you want to go. And we look at filling those gaps together with you. And of course, practical experience, giving you opportunity to do internships, to do some practical case studies related to football organizations. And then finally, just a couple of quick points. We do have 2 face-to-face touch points, 2 in-person events. One of them is we kick off at the World Football Summit in Sevilla, which is September 18th and 19th. So the tuition fee of the course includes a pass for the conference in Sevilla. If you haven't heard about the World Football Summit, give them a follow. They're our partners for many years now. And then we have at the end a graduation ceremony in Barcelona, where we visit FC Barcelona, Espanyol, Mediapro, some other companies here in Barcelona, plus many other social and networking events. I won't go into a lot, the methodology, because there's lots to talk about. But what I will say is that if you're looking for a program where you're not just going to learn and gain the knowledge and connect with people, but where you're looking to build a pathway, where you're looking to build your career in football, that's something we specialize in. We help you to personalize, to improve your personal brand, rather, to grow your network. We provide connections to you. There's many students that have gone on to create business ventures together from this master. And obviously, we provide you career guidance as to your own personal aspirations. So that's something that we like to say is a little bit unique around SBI, that we don't just focus on delivering the knowledge and the network and the experience, but we also cater one-on-one each and every one of our students. They all have different aspirations. They all have different gaps to fill, because they have different ages, they have different backgrounds, they have different work permits, and of course, different motivations. So it would make no sense to deliver a mentorship that it was a cookie cutter for all. So what we do is we specialize with each individual, and we do a gap analysis. We find out, where are you at today when you start the program, and where do you want to be? And based on that, we're going to analyze the gaps, because some people will have more gaps as far as growing their network. Others, which we've had many people here in SBI that have done the program that are Premier League players, those guys don't need a network, but they need the education and they need other things. So depending on what your profile is, that's what we cater to, and that's how we provide you the mentorship. Our mentors are not just any mentors. There's mentors that have high executive roles at football clubs. So you're going to be gaining a one-on-one conversation with these people that have worked in high executive positions at clubs like Manchester United, Inter Milan, FC Barcelona, and also consultants that work in recruitment. Why? Because it would make no sense, again, for someone without the experience to be giving you the guidance. So we want to give you the mentors that have been there, that have worked in the football industry, that are working in football today, that are able to give you insight as to what they've seen based on their experience and what they can tell you, so that you can take your career to the next level. And you'd be surprised at how important and how valuable this ends up being. Because imagine just yourselves having the possibility to speak to a high-level executive at FC Barcelona or Inter Milan or Real Madrid, which is these guys, the experience that they bring to the table. That's not an easy task. That's not an easy task to have a hour conversation with someone, and they're going to be focused specifically on your own career objectives. So that's something that at SBI we're very proud of. It's worked really, really well. People have gone on after finishing the program, because what it does is it doesn't just make you study a program, but it makes you, in parallel while you're studying, have introspection and look at what you need to work on. And the reality is life gets in the way. We're busy. So if you don't have that accountability to be forced to do this, most likely you're going to be having, you put this off because, you have family, you have work, you have other commitments. But by having these mentors as part of the program, we sort of force you to think about your own career, your own aspirations. And it takes time. It takes time to do that introspection. But when you do it, and when you talk to the experts, that's when you really see the results. So anyway, something to think about. Obviously, speakers come from the top clubs, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, UEFA, FIFA, guys like Juan de Dios who have worked with guys like Messi, Zidane. I mean, these guys have been there, and that's the other thing that we say about SBI. No disrespect to academia, but our program is not taught in an academic, traditional textbook fashion. We have the experts that come in, they tell you what their situation is, what the challenges are, and that way you're learning by specific cases that are in the industry today. So rather than having to do the typical textbook theory type of approach, we don't do that. So if you're looking for a program where you want to go on and do a PhD, this is not the master for you. On the other hand, if you want to connect with industry leaders, with people that are doing this day in, day out, and learn from them and be able to pick their brain and engage with them. Like I said, tonight was just a tidbit. You guys had 2 or 3 questions at the end. In the master's program, you have access to all these executives for hours where you're able to contact them, talk to them, ask them questions, and of course, connect with them. So you may be wondering, well, who is this master's for me? Well, it depends. If you fit into any one of these 4 categories, that's the type of profile that we have at SBI for our master's program. So people already working in football enroll in this program. For the next edition, we have people working at Aston Villa, Valencia, a few other clubs that are going to be taking part in the master as students. So these would be your classmates. So we already have a lot of people that come from football, established in the industry. They want to take their career to the next level. That's one area. Others come from other sectors. They're looking to transition. They want to gain insight, but also transfer the skills that they have maybe in operations or in marketing or in finance or in communications or in law or in marketing, whatever it may be. And if you're in that position today where you're thinking, gosh, I'd love to work in football, but I don't have, the education. I know I have the skills and I know I will do a good job. But at the moment, I know that if I send my CV somewhere or if I apply or if I have a conversation with someone, they're not going to see that potential. So that's where we fill in the gap, where those that come from other sectors, they use this master as a platform, as a jumping board to be able to transfer the skills that they have from other corporate sectors. And then obviously we have many professional footballers that have done this program. I mean, we've worked with the likes of, some of these players have had very successful careers. Wes Morgan, the captain at Leicester City, was our student. He's the guy that lifted the trophy when Leicester miraculously won the league title in the Premier League about 10 years ago. James Milner, who had a very successful career at Liverpool, also is a former student of ours. There's many, many more that have done the program, professional footballers from Saudi Arabia, from Europe, from Spain, from UK. And why is this interesting? Again, because the cohort is not just a specific homogeneous background of profiles. We have footballers, people from other sectors, people already working in football. And then also we have young people that are hungry, that are ready to take on, this challenge. And sometimes people ask us, well, I don't have a lot of experience and I'm pretty young. Will I be accepted? If you have the right profile and the right motivation, we take in young profiles as well. Why? Because even if we have students that the average age is 38 to 42 or 28 to 42, whatever it may be, if we have someone who's 23, 21, he or she is consuming football in a much more different way than someone who's 40. So that in itself brings a lot of value to the discussions. But having someone who's in their 20s is not going to consume football the same way as someone in their 40s. And when you bring those profiles together all in one classroom, debating, doing classes where they're, cases rather than, exams and memorization. You're actually put in positions to prepare you for what you're going to see in the industry. It's a very interesting profile of students. Now, just a couple more things that I want to share with you. This program is recognized by a university in the United States called Florida Global University, which is based out of Miami. Why is this important? Because although I just finished saying that we're not a traditional textbook academic type of master, the reality is that having the backing of a university is always very powerful in the degree itself. So we do have the academic rigor, we just are not constrained by the typical academic type of structure, because we have, rather than, and again, no disrespect to academia, but what we have is industry professionals that are not full-time teachers. They are full-time marketing managers at football clubs. They are finance managers at governing bodies. They are, agency CEOs. Whatever the role they have is something that they do on the side, teaching and providing these lectures for us at SBI. I mean, you can go to our website. I won't go through all the testimonials. Here's Wes Morgan, who did the program with us a few years back, his testimonial. Again, imagine studying a program with a Premier League player or a professional footballer. It goes a long way for your network. Right, the course content, you can see it on our web. Finally, I'll say this. The application starts now. I mean, we've already had over 50% of the spots filled, and the program starts in October. It's a program that we fill every year. We run it one time per year. And what you need to do, if you're interested in applying, obviously get in touch with us. We can have a conversation. But if you feel that it's the program for you, what you need to do is you need to go to our website, fill out an online application form, which is not very long. Send us your CV. Send us a motivation letter telling us why you're interested in this program. Two things: why you want to do this program, and also what you bring to the table. What is your experience that you're going to add to the rest of the cohort? Because we're interested in individuals that are not here just to sit and listen and not participating. We're looking for people that are hungry, that are driven, and that are going to come to class, participate, and talk about what they bring to the table, irrespective of the age and the background and the experience, but those that want to have the motivation to learn. What we do is we review all the candidatures. We have a board that reviews them, and those that are successful, we then communicate to you if your application has been successful and you're accepted. So that's a simple, easy process. There is a 120 euro application fee, which is fully refundable if for any reason you're not accepted. So if you're not accepted to the program and you've paid the fee, we refund the 120 euros, and also we provide feedback and tell you why you were not accepted to the program, so that then you can have feedback whether you want to apply the following year or apply for another program. It is a program very much in demand. Spaces do fill up relatively soon before October. Like I said, we're at over 50% now, and the master starts in October. And one of the reasons is because people know about SBI and the way that we are connected to the industry. So it's a different type of masters than what you're going to see in many other places, because we're going to put you in situations. We're going to make you act as if, and you're going to learn from professionals in the football industry. If that's what you're looking for, and you feel you want to have a conversation about your objectives, what I always say, and I'll wrap up with this, what I always say is, our job is not to convince you to do our program. Maybe you need to be doing the program with Juan de Dios, as he mentioned, with his institute. Our role and our mission is to give you all the facts about what we do. And then it's up to you to decide on what's right for you, because there's many, many other great programs in the market, and there's certainly one that's going to be the right fit for you. You just need to find that balance and look at what's important. And if what we offer at SBI ticks most of the boxes, then of course we'd love to hear from you. That's it. I won't keep you guys any longer. If you want to ask any questions about your own career and your own development in football, please feel free. We'd love to talk about it here while we have some time. I'm going to be sticking around for 5-10 minutes, so feel free to type questions. And it doesn't have to be questions about the masters. It can be anything around your career. Take this opportunity, and I'd love to give you my insight and my opinion if I can help in any way. I'll stick around for 5-10 minutes, and then with that we'll wrap up tonight. I know you've been here for quite a while, so I don't want to stick around much longer with and be respectful of your time. But please, if any of you here that are still with us want to type anything around, maybe you're in a situation. I get this a lot when I talk to people, and they say to me, I know I can work in this industry. I know I have a lot to offer because I've demonstrated that I've been successful in other sectors. And football is my passion, but I just don't know how to make the transition. I don't know how to take that step. And the reality is that it's not an easy step to take. And one of the advantages of doing something online, and even though it's online, you see that it's live, it's interactive. And like I said, tonight is not a proper indication of what a masterclass is all about, because we had very limited time tonight in a webinar. In a masterclass, you have much more time. But one of the advantages of doing it online is that you can do it in parallel with other commitments. You can do it in parallel with your work commitments or academic commitments or even personal commitments. But yeah, the question that I get many times is, I know I can work in this industry and I'd love to work in it, but I just don't know how to do it. So if that's your situation tonight and you want to put it in the chat and just talk to us about, where you want to go, where you want to take your career, this is what I do day in, day out. And I have a passion for it. Even if, you don't know me personally, you probably see it coming out of me, the emotion and the passion that I bring to this, because I'm the founder, the director of SBI. And I founded this because, 15, 17 years ago, I was in a similar situation as many of you today, where I have no connections. I was not involved in the football industry. I had no experience in football. And now I'm, super proud to say that I have, as, people that I know in the industry, professional football players in the Premier League, top executive at the football clubs, at the governing bodies. And if you had told me that 15, 20 years ago, I would have never believed it. I found my path through education and through SBI, but your path is still to be determined if that's where you're at today. And if you want to have a conversation, by all means, please, I'll leave my email here. I see that some of you are not in the chat any longer, but this is my personal email. Send me an email if you want to discuss anything around your career. Like I said, no commitment to our master, no commitment to anything related to our courses. Just to have a conversation about where you're at, where you want to go. I do my best to offer my time as much as I can. And then, yes, WhatsApp is the number here that you see on the presentation. This is the SBI WhatsApp number. So you can send a number to us. Send a message to us, and someone from our team will reply, and I'll do my best to reply personally, and we'll take it from there. All right? So if you're ever in Barcelona, give us a visit. I'll just quickly show you where we're located. Our offices are directly, I don't know if you can see it still with the night. We're directly opposite Camp Nou in Barcelona. So if you're ever in Barcelona, want to visit us, we're here. If you're visiting Camp Nou when it's finished, let us know. We'd love to host you in our offices. Right. Ambrose, how well do ladies do in master's course, and what effect have you seen on football administration in general? Thank you so much, Ambrose. This is one of our commitments at SBI. And in fact, it's in our mission and in our values that we have, set up in our corporate identity. We believe that women have an important role to play in football. Unfortunately, the numbers are underrepresented. And we see that many times women feel intimidated to enter into this sector because, let's be honest, it's been a male-dominated sector for many years. So what have we done to make this a more accessible, course for women that are interested in this, this field? One of our objectives that we're very proud to say that we met last year is that the guest speakers and the different people that collaborated with us in the program, we reached a 50% female guest speaker appearances. So why is this important? Because sometimes when women see other women in the positions that they aspire to, to acquire, it empowers. And it's like, if someone that feels that perhaps, you know, they're underrepresented, they see somebody that is teaching, that has done it and has had success, you know, it gives them that motivation to say, hey, if they did it, I can do it. And I'll tell you that the women speakers that participate in the program are all super committed to the same cause. And I'm a believer that it's not just women who need to be empowering women. It's men as well that are in the position that are able to do so. And at SBI, we do our little grain of salt to say that if we can bring more female speakers that have the same level of expertise or even better than others, it gives that sentiment of empowerment to women. So I believe that there's going to be many more women in leadership positions, but I still think we're far behind. And programs such as ours, you know, we work very hard to try and recruit more and more women. So in the selection process, when we see candidatures from women looking to get into this industry, we very much value them. Obviously, everybody has an equal opportunity, but we very much value them because we know that this is, in Spanish, we say an asignatura pendiente, which is a challenge that is still to be resolved. And if we can play a small role in the industry, in the ecosystem as a whole, I know there's many more organizations that can do much around this topic. The governing bodies, FIFA, UEFA, the clubs, they have much more power than an organization such as ours. But if we can contribute our grain of salt, we know we're doing our drop in the ocean that is having an effect, and everything counts. So thank you, Ambrose. I'd be interested to connect with you on any level if you want to discuss this further and find out more about what you're doing and what your role is in football or in another sector. But yeah, thank you for the question, Ambrose. A topic again which I'm very passionate about. Right. I see no more questions coming in. I've left my personal email. You have our contact email at SBI. You have our WhatsApp number. I've already mentioned that if you follow us on Instagram, SBI Barcelona, give us a follow. We'll be in touch and we'll see. We'll take it from there. All right. Anyway, it's an hour and a half we've been connected. I do want to be respectful of your time. So I'll disconnect now. Excuse me. Sorry. I've been talking too much, but I'll disconnect now. If you want to reach out to me, please do so. I'll do my best to reply within 1 or 2 days, and then we'll take it from there. But for now, I want to say thank you to everybody that participated and then engaged with our webinar with Juan de Dios. And I look forward to hearing from all of you very soon through any of our channels that we've mentioned today. Thank you, Quadri. We'll make sure to give you a follow there, BRXXZBB. Fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you're connecting from, and hope to see you at our next webinar. That's it for now. All the best. Bye-bye, everybody.